being weird. Okay.
Oh, okay. So today I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit about this idea I had for my entrepreneurship class.
Okay.
It's based off a need that I found in society. So I'm just gonna ask you if you have the same need, I guess. Start off pretty simple. I'm gonna explain it to you. It's, say wherever you go out to a restaurant or you go out to a bar or you go out to just the beach, you want to know if it's packed or not, you know? So the idea is that some people don't care if it's packed, and some people do from the past interviews I've done. So just to start off, do you care if a place like even a gym, a place of that nature, do you care if it's packed or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
specifically, am I allowed to?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, a specific instance recently was I was going to Starbucks to study, and if I would have known that it was packed, I wouldn't have gone and got my coffee and then sat in there because there were no tables. But I would have gone somewhere a lot closer to home instead of driving all the way to Starbucks and not having a table to sit at and study.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. We're just trying to throw out ideas right now. So you have this need, right? We established that. Do you think other people have this need? Like, do you think other people would also check to see if a place is packed or not?
Yes, I think that the general population would like to know if they're going to go in their cars and drive somewhere. They would like to know that if it's packed, if they can mentally prepare for that, or it might deter them from even going there in the first place.
All right, thank you. What do you think are the boundaries for an idea like this? Because I threw out beach, I threw out bar or restaurant. Do you think that like there are boundaries for that, or could it even be like, I know they already have something for traffic where like you can tell if a place is packed, like if you're driving there, but like how deep could this go as far as finding out if a place or a route is packed?
I think actually that it's pretty endless. I know that Google Maps now, they have like the alternative routes. So if there's one route that's like really packed, they give you two other ones, and it might take more time, but it's like not as heavy with traffic. So I know that they have that, but I think really anywhere people would use that kind of app. I mean, think about like the university pool. Like people don't want to go to the pool if they think all the lawn chairs are going to be filled and they're not going to be able to go tan, or they're going to be able to jump in the pool. Like they want to know that. I think it could really be translated into any incidents.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. That was good. Thank you. We're going to get deep here.
Oh.
Why do you think you have this need? Like, why? Why do you think that, like, it's pretty simple, I guess. It's not that deep, but why do you think this need's for you, and why do you think it is for everyone else?
I think pretty much just the culture that we've been brought up in is kind of instant gratification, and also just saving time. Like everything that we do, it's like what can get us there fastest, what can get this done quickest. It's all about saving time, because time is money these days, and especially with our busy schedule, like literally going to Starbucks and not having a table was the worst thing of my day, because it took time to get there and money to get there, but then like my end goal was not met. And so I think just being in this culture of just like want to get something done and get it done now, or you want something and you want it now. I mean, that sounds terrible, but like that's kind of what we're being brought up in, and that's what the societal norm is right now. So I think that is why I need this need. All my friends need this, have this need. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So say I created an app.
Okay.
If someone created an app that could allow you to. It's kind of like social networking, I guess, where you could go to a place and post, you know, if it was busy or not. Would you use this app, and how much, if you did use it, how much would you use it?
I would use that app, and I would pay for that app. Yeah. But I would use it really like anytime that I left my house, or anytime I was going anywhere. Yeah. Especially if I was on a time constraint. Sometimes like Sunday morning, if you're going to brunch, like you don't care how packed it is, you're going anyways. Or if you have time that day, like you don't really care. But I think like in everyday life, at least during school and in between like work shifts, like if you have a lunch break, it would be used pretty much every day.
Okay. All right, just one final question, I guess.
Okay.
Would you ever find a situation where, because we've talked about this whole time, where you want to make sure a place isn't packed? Would you ever check to make sure a place is packed? Like, would you want there to be a lot of people there?
Yes. So, I mean, I think we're all in college here, so think about the bars on Friday, Saturday nights. Most people don't want to just show up to an empty bar. I mean, if there's good music, like, I don't care. Like, I'm going. Doesn't matter if my friends are with me. We're going. Yeah. But I mean, for a good amount of the population, I feel like they want to go if it's already popping. And so I think that that would determine what time people left from their houses to go to the bar. They looked it up, and there was a lot of people. Then they'd be like, okay, now's the time to go, and they'd leave their house. So I think it could be used like both ways. Yeah. To deter people from going if it was super packed, or to give the people the incentive to go if it was packed.
Okay, true. Well, thank you for sharing your ideas with me today.
So welcome.
I really appreciated it.
Yep,
What's up?
All right, hi. That's Brad. Brad, got you here today, so I'm going to interview for you for my entrepreneurship class. Why don't you start just by telling the viewer a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, my name is Brad, second-year student here at UF, Miami Heat fan from Boca, Florida. Nothing much. I'm actually majoring in marketing, and I know this guy from an organization called DSP at UF. So.
Okay. Basically, why I had you do that, because right now I'm identifying the prototypical customer for the product that I'm trying to release. So just a little bit about who the prototypical customer is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so to start off, basically in this class, what we got to do is like find opportunities based off needs. Mm-hmm. So if a need is unmet in society, it could be anything. You find an opportunity based off that, and then right now we're trying to create a product to fulfill that opportunity. Mm-hmm, okay. So the thing that I've been focused on is basically if you go somewhere like a restaurant or the gym or a bar or even the beach, and it's crowded, it's packed, like that's a problem, right?
Of course.
So I guess my first question would be, if you just want to talk about that a little bit, like do you ever experience that where you go someplace and it's crowded and you have to wait in line for a long time?
For sure. I mean, at least for me, should I talk to you or the camera? I don't know.
Talk to me.
I mean, going to the beach in South Florida, it's always packed. Especially during the summer, it's hard, man, because there's never any spots, so that's always a rough thing. Oh. Also, even here at the gym, I mean, going to Southwest or something, it's always packed during, that 3-hour span every night. So there's always times where it's hard to get your spot in public places, for sure.
Yeah, okay. So, like, sometimes in situations like this, you'll be the only person with a need. Do you feel that, like, other people, everyone wants to know if a place is packed or not, or is that just something specific to you and your friend group, like people, millennials, I guess, people in your age group, or do you think everyone feels the need to like find out if a place is packed or not?
I mean, I think everyone, honestly, just because it affects everybody. It's not just people my age, so I feel like being prepared before you come somewhere and knowing what to expect is definitely something that everybody would want to know. I feel like.
Why do you think that is though? Like, why do you not like waiting in lines? Is it? I guess is it different when you're on your own or with your friends? Do you ever enjoy? Like, do you ever just not mind waiting in a line to go to a place?
I mean, nobody really likes the lines, but I feel you. Like, maybe if I'm alone, like listening to music and stuff, waiting. But I don't know. It's not something that I would enjoy. So,
yeah. Okay.
I feel like everybody kind of feels. I don't know.
Do you ever think so? So basically, right now, and I talked about this with Alex when I interviewed him earlier. What I'm focusing on is making sure you can tell if a place is packed or not.
It's a good idea.
But the problem is that if a place is packed, you're just not going to go there. What if you worked with a company and made waiting in line or made waiting more interesting, more fun? Instead of like trying to get people not to go to a place because it's packed, what if you made the wait more interesting?
That's a good idea, actually. I mean, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but actually making the wait enjoyable could definitely make your experience at that place definitely a lot more.
Yeah, that's just. I actually just talked about that with Alex. That's how I got it. So these interviews are kind of helpful.
Oh, true. Okay.
But what do you think are the boundaries to an idea? Like back to finding out if a place is packed. what do you think are the boundaries to this? For an example would be, I mentioned beach, restaurant, bar, or gym. Could you find out if any place in the world is packed? Like, I know there's stuff right now where if you drive, you can pick which route you want to take based off traffic.
Mm-hmm.
What are the boundaries to this? Like, could you conceivably find out if any place in the world is packed?
I mean, how exactly are you going to collect the information? Like, who... Is it the people that own the establishment tell you that, or what? Like,
well, I guess we'll skip ahead a little bit.
Oh,
the product, that was a good question. The product that I would like to create is like an app, kind of like a social media app. So right now, if you go on Twitter, people will sometimes tweet about certain places, if it's packed or not. But that information always isn't about if it's crowded. It could be about, oh, this place is great.
True.
And that's cool if you want to look for that, but it's not condensed. I want something condensed where only people at that location can post quickly if it's crowded or if it's not crowded, it's going to get crowded. So you can quickly log on and get that information right away. So it makes it easy and you get the right information.
It's a good idea. I mean, yeah, like you said, I feel like you could do that anywhere, honestly. I mean, you know, like, I mean, I don't know what other public places there are to go to, like, but you kind of named them all. I mean, I feel like anywhere. But I feel like restaurant would be one in particular just because that's where people want to know if there's a wait or not. Like, that's the number one. And gym also, man. I mean, I feel like those are both two big ones. But I feel like that's something open to anything, anywhere, honestly. If people will post about it, I mean, there's no limit, really. So.
One of the big ones I've got is, so restaurant, you know, you can always call ahead. That might not always be the most accurate. You could, at the gym, you could watch the video. Mm-hmm. But say, you know, we're all 21 years old here. Say you're going out to a bar or going out to a club. Mm-hmm. There's no real service for knowing if a place is packed or if it's going to be packed.
That's true, yeah.
So that's I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in.
No, definitely. I think that's a great idea. I mean, being able to prepare for how long of a line you're going to have to wait in is definitely something important.
Yeah.
So.
Would you ever see a situation where you would use this app to make sure a place is packed, like you wanted it to be crowded?
True. I mean, yeah, like you said, for bars, I mean, sometimes you don't want to wait, but at the same time, you don't want it to be, like, dead when you go there.
It'd be
so
awkward.
If you know that it's pretty popping, then yeah.
Okay. So if this app were made, if I made this app, would you use it?
I would.
Okay. Sweet, okay. And how often do you think you would use it? Say, you know, the range can vary from once a month, once a week, to every time you go to a place, you check to see if it's going to be packed or not.
I mean, if I had that, I would definitely use it for bars, like you said, and also restaurants. I feel like every time, I mean, what do you have to lose? Just look at what people have to say.
True.
I feel like those are the two big things for me. You know, gym, either way, I'm probably still going to go if it's busy, but I think the bar and restaurant is definitely something important for me, at least. I would check, like, at least maybe every other time I go. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Well, sounds good, Brad. I just want to thank you for your time. You
provided
me with some great insight. I'll let you know if I get the product going. Yeah.
Appreciate it, Brett. You're the man.
All right. This is Tyler.
Hey.
This is my next interview. Tyler, why don't we just start? You can tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name's Tyler. I'm from Orlando. I'm a junior information systems major. What else do you want to know? My favorite color is orange.
You can, go as far deep as you want. Because right now I'm just trying to identify the prototypical customer for the product that I'm creating.
The prototype customer. Okay.
Prototype. There we go. Words.
What is it?
Words. Basically, in my mind, it's anyone, but I'd like to also just get a bio of who you are. So, how to start, I guess, in this class, the entrepreneurship class, what we got to do is we find opportunities, and we find opportunities based off needs. So, basically, you try to find an unmet need, right? And then that's an opportunity. And then, so we've developed we've discovered some needs in the past, and right now we're just trying to create a product, I guess, that could fix the need. So right now I'm trying to find a little bit more about it from the prototypical customer's viewpoint, so I could just improve on it. The situation that I've got here is whenever you go somewhere like a restaurant or a bar or the gym or even the beach, like you want to know specific times, is it crowded or not, right? Do you ever find yourself in that situation where you have the need to know if a place is crowded or not before you go there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So could you, I guess, talk about an experience in the last month or two where you went somewhere and you had to wait in a line to get in, and it was just too crowded to get in and you had to wait?
Uh,
It
let's see, probably the gym.
Okay,
Yeah.
or the past year, just
Yeah, I mean, a time I can think of where I've been waiting in the line is probably the gym. That'd probably be
Okay.
the worst one.
yeah. And so were you not able to like tell if it was going to be packed or not beforehand?
I mean, there's like webcams at Southwest, but they don't really work that well. Like you can't really see the important things.
Okay.
So it like doesn't really help that much.
So what happened? You just stayed around and waited? Or you
Yeah.
left?
Well, how it works is they make a line outside of the gym, and there'll be like one in, one out. Literally, so when
That's
one
terrible.
person leaves, you have to wait in a line to go into the gym. I'm like, I should just go home at this point.
So if you get like a nice warm up in, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. You
Okay.
killed gains right there.
All right. So we've identified, I guess, that you do have this need to know if a place is crowded or not.
Mhm.
Now, with some things in life, a need is just for you. You only experience it, or your friend group experience it, or like a group of people like millennials would only experience it. Do you think that a need like this is constrained to millennials, or do you think everyone would have this need of knowing if a place is crowded?
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone could probably use that information just
Okay.
for like restaurants.
Do you
or-
find, I guess, like, do your parents ever worry about if a place is crowded or not?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Okay.
They do it for a lot of things. I'm trying to think
True.
of like examples like Universal restaurants. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
if you go to like downtown Disney or some shit, my parents are like, "Is it gonna be bad driving?" I'm like, "I'll drive. Don't worry."
Okay. So I guess to look a little bit deeper, we've named a few places. Like you named downtown Disney.
Yeah.
I named a restaurant. You talked about a gym. What are the boundaries to this? Because I've seen apps where like you can see if the road is clear or not. You know.
Yeah. So
What-
boundaries are people's privacy. That's the biggest boundary. So you gotta figure out how you're gonna get the information of where they are and how many people are in a location, because that's
Okay.
like important and powerful
Yeah.
information.
That's true. Okay. I meant-
you have to have everyone's GPS location or something.
Well, I guess I'm going to discuss the product a little bit
All
more
right, yeah,
detail
let me hear it.
later. But
Okay.
but basically, it would work how how your iPhone or your phone can get your location.
yeah,
It would work like that. So
Okay.
if you wanted to post if a place was crowded or not,
yeah,
you had to actually be there to do that.
okay.
So the iPhone would, or the phone's capability would allow you to do that. But as far as
Okay.
boundaries, I mean, like, boundaries might be a poor word. That's my fault.
How specific or something?
What can you tell if a place is crowded or not? Like so we mentioned, obviously you can like try to find if a restaurant is crowded, but say like, could you try to find if a beach is crowded or if a park is crowded?
Yeah,
Like-
I mean,
Basically anywhere is what I'm
yeah,
asking.
like you're saying. So I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here and say that your
Please.
product is a like a population map of some sort that shows.
That's a good idea. I'm loving keeping you in the dark because you're throwing me ideas now
Yeah,
too.
it's a
Okay.
it's a map of people's population and the density of them.
That's
but
so
real time
interesting.
with phones.
That's so interesting.
So that's what.
That's
is that
not-
not your
that's
product
not
is?
it. That's
Alright,
so
you're a bad
interesting.
product.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So
Um,
what? Can you just?
I
tell me
should
about
probably
your
do.
product?
I enjoyed that time because you're throwing me ideas. The
Okay.
product would be an app, kind of like social media.
Okay.
So if you go on Twitter, you'll see people tweeting about Applebee's.
Yeah.
You'll see people tweeting about Applebee's, like if it's good or not,
Uh-huh.
or if it's crowded or not. But that's good, crowded. I want to know if it's crowded or not.
Yeah.
So my app would be a lot more condensed. Where if you're in that location, like I said before, you could rate it on a scale between like 1 and 10 if it's crowded or not, and then clearly defined scale,
Mhm.
and then you'd be able to comment on top of that.
Okay.
So the idea, I actually interviewed Alex earlier, and he was talking about a different app that does that, where it incentivizes people to post.
Mhm.
So you'd get people posting. I'd obviously have to incentivize them to post,
Mhm.
and then you'd be able to just go on your phone, say you're going to Applebee's, and you'd see other people who are there posting about if it's crowded or not, if it's going to get crowded, what's the vibes, kind of
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's like a social network kind of thing, but with a focus on being crowd
Yeah,
sizes. Okay.
exactly. So it's more condensed. You get your
Yeah.
information right away.
Okay. Yeah, that's I could see it being useful, but I could also just see a social network aspect not working. Honestly,
Well-
from things I've literally tried, like I did the business idea project or the
Uh-huh.
big business idea competition,
Yeah.
and we try to put too much social networking stuff into our company, and it just literally doesn't work. Like a lot of people, it's really hard to break into the social network market.
Okay.
But the way I like what you could do is instead of having people like putting in on the scale of how crowded it is, it could just know how many phones are in a place.
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Talking about.
But
okay.
I did just hear someone knock at the door. I kind of need to get that. Okay. All right. Yeah.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Okay.
So if we did create this app, I guess either your idea or my idea.
Yeah.
How often would you use this, or would you use it at all?
It depends on how popular it gets, right? So if there's a lot of people using it, I'd probably use it all the time. I try to plan out where I'm going places. But I'd say realistically, probably like twice a day, like to the major places.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess you've provided me with some great information, so we're just gonna end it right there. But thank you for your time, Tyler.
I appreciate it.
All right. So this is Umar. He's gonna be my next interview. Umar, to start, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, cool. So I'm a junior at UF, finance major, Spanish minor, doing my master's in international business. And yeah, I love soccer, cars, the typical guy stuff. Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so basically we did that just to I'm trying to find a prototypical customer.
Yeah.
So we're describing that right now.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
So thanks for telling me about that. All right, so basically in this class that you know nothing about, what happens is we have to find a need within society.
Okay.
Like that's what we've been working on the first few weeks.
Right.
And then once you find that need, it's an opportunity for you to fill that need.
Right.
So basically what I've done is I've picked an opportunity, and right now I'm interviewing a bunch of people just trying to get different thoughts on it. So I guess I'll just describe it. Do you ever have that need where you're going out to a place, say a restaurant or a bar or a gym, and you want to know if it's crowded or not?
Yeah, dude, always, man. Like, I hate waiting for like an hour at a restaurant, going there and finding out, and then have to find another restaurant.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So could you, doesn't even have to be a restaurant, but any time in the last 2 or 3 months when you've had that situation where you've gone out, not being able to know if it was busy or just not caring enough to find out, and then end up being packed?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we went to downtown one time, the restaurant called The Top.
Oh, dude, I was just there on Saturday.
Yeah.
It was an hour-long wait.
Exactly, an hour-long wait. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, I didn't expect it to be that long, It was kind of like a off hour. Like, we got there early, too. And
What
it was
time
still,
did you guys get there?
We got there at, it's 6 maybe.
Okay.
So, it was, starting to pick up. It was, it was starting to pick up, but, it was still 45 minutes.
Okay.
And so we just ended up finding another place. We just walked around until we found a place with no line.
Apparently what you're supposed to do is go to that barcade.
Yeah.
So it's the bar and the arcade.
Gotcha.
Which this app would be great because you could check if that was busy too.
Yeah.
But since it's an hour long, they say to go there.
Right.
Anyways, were you there last Saturday?
Nah, it was probably a month ago. Yeah.
So, alright, so thanks for telling me about that. That's obviously a need of yours.
Yeah.
With needs, it can always be different. It can be a need that just you have, or a need that your friends have, or a need that millennials have, different generations.
Right.
So that need, that feeling that you just described, do you think that's just shared by people your age, or do you think that goes for everyone?
Oh no, are you kidding me? Old people probably have it more. They don't have time to wait for lines.
Okay.
No, for sure. I mean, I've heard it from my parents too. Man, I don't want to wait for this ridiculous line. Let's just go somewhere else before. So definitely, the need exists across all spectrums of ages.
So basically, I love that you brought up lines there, because what I'm talking about right now is obviously trying to avoid lines.
Yeah.
Is that the problem, or could the problem also be fixed by making lines fun?
I feel if you make the line fun, if you add an entertainment aspect to it, then people will stay more. It'll definitely increase the number of people that return to the restaurant in the future.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
See, that would be cool if it was at a restaurant or something. I was talking to an interviewer earlier, and he said that they have it at Disney now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but why wouldn't people? I don't know. Well, that's why we're doing this. All right, so. I guess I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the. Actually, let me ask this question first. What do you think are the boundaries for this? You know what? I should describe it first. Let me describe the app.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
So it is an app.
Yeah.
I spilled the beans there. Basically, it's going to work not so much like social media, but similar in that sense.
Yeah.
Where I don't mean to compare it to Twitter, but say someone wants to go to Applebee's, and you look on Twitter for Applebee's, and you might see stuff about how Applebee's is really good, or really bad, or maybe over here how long the wait is or something.
Right.
So this app is going to concentrate information where it uses the location on your phone.
Mhm.
So you could only use the app, I guess, if you're at that location in a certain sense. So if you go to Publix or Applebee's and you see they're packed,
Yeah.
you can use a rating system or a comment to say it's packed.
Right.
Obviously, there would be like I'd have to incentivize the people to do it.
Right.
So I guess my first question is, does this seem like a viable app?
Yeah, definitely. I think like it would be viable if you like had an incentive for them, like maybe like for every comment or something like that, you get like 10 cents or 50 cents credit or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
like maybe if you make a partnership with the restaurant or something like that.
Huh.
That way, it's good for the restaurant too, because like now you got more people like who know about it, and then they come back to the restaurant.
Okay.
So I feel like that's a good way you can do it too.
That's true. I didn't think about that. It's funny. I asked the same questions to an information system major, and he was telling me about how to improve the app.
Yeah.
And I asked it to a finance major,
Yeah.
and you're telling me how to finance the
How to
project.
make, yeah, exactly. I mean, you gotta have money on the mind too.
That's
so.
cool. That's cool.
That's
the
for
way
sure.
the way you guys think.
For
Okay.
sure.
So say this app does start working. What do you think are the boundaries to this? Because right now we've just described wait time for a restaurant or a gym or a bar.
Right.
Like, what could conceivably have a wait time? Because I know there are some apps that can tell you if a road is busy or not.
Right.
So
right.
what could we do to expand this?
Yeah, I think for definitely like restaurants would be number one for the wait time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to integrate like roads and things like that, maybe, but that might be a different category. So I kind of
What
probably
about
stay away
something,
from
something like the beach or a pool?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you mentioned gym, especially at UF, like Southwest Gym, for example. I mean, I hate going there, seeing it packed, especially like on Mondays. Like sometimes like what time to avoid, but then even then, like on a random day, there's gonna be a ton of people there.
I heard from someone that it's 1 in, 1 out, right?
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
That's happened to me before. 1 in, 1 out.
So do you just stay? Are you like okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, like it depends. Like if it's a long line, then I'll be like, no, I'm just gonna go like back to my apartment and just go to the gym there.
Yeah.
But like if it's short, I'll wait it out.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So you're saying
also,
if it's short, you'll wait it out. Is there ever a situation though where you want something so much, like you wanted to work out so badly that you would wait in a long line?
I don't know about the gym. I'd probably not wait too long for a gym.
Yeah.
I just go back. But like if it's a restaurant,
Like
I'm really craving something that day. Like if I want my Taco Bell, if I want my like Blaze, like
I get
like
that.
I'll wait in that line.
Okay.
And that's probably like
I
I
feel
just
that.
like
I'd probably do the same.
yeah.
Okay, so one of the last questions.
Yeah.
Let's say it's this app's developed, it's working real nice.
Right.
How often, or if you would use this app, how often would you use it? Say like once a day, once a week, once a month, or every time you go somewhere?
Yeah, I'd probably use it like maybe how many times? I'd probably eat out like during the week maybe 4 times, 5 times, like out of the 7 days.
Okay.
So I'd probably use it like honestly every day that I eat out. Like I'd check like, all right, am I really about to wait in this line?
Yeah.
So we'll see. So,
Okay. Well, Amr, thank you for your time. I really
no problem,
appreciate
man.
it. I'll let you know if I do develop the app.
Sounds good.
Okay, so this is my next interview. This is Mac. Mac, why don't we just start off and you can tell the people a little bit about yourself.
My name is Mac Baxter. I'm a third-year mechanical engineering student here at UF from Orlando, Florida.
What kind of stuff do you like? What kind of stuff do you do?
Well, I like going to US sporting events. Do you want me to talk in the camera?
You can go wherever you want.
Okay. I like especially football games, basketball games. I'm working right now at Disney, doing project management stuff. I like golfing, surfing.
Great. Surfing's cool.
Playing some sports,
Okay. So basically, I just wanted to get a little bit hear a little bit about yourself, because right now I'm trying to identify the prototypical customer for the product that I'm going to develop.
Okay.
So right now, I guess I'm going to let you know a little bit about how this class works. So basically, what we do in this class is we just have to identify needs in society, and these needs turn into opportunities that we develop a product for. Okay. So a need in this situation that I've identified is, say you're going out to someplace, say a restaurant, a bar, a gym, the beach. Do you ever think beforehand, hey, is this place crowded? Or do you ever get there and not know that it's crowded and have to wait in line?
Sure.
Okay, and you consider that to be a problem?
It's something everyone always tries to plan around, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But you usually keep that in mind on the way, and then like planning
True.
going to those events.
So, well, just discussing that need, I guess, could you tell me about a time in the last 3 or 4 months that you went to some place and it was crowded or too packed?
Yeah, give me a second. So, you said like restaurants even?
Anywhere, really.
Okay, my dad and I were trying to go to Dragonfly Sushi,
True.
like on a Friday night or something.
Yeah.
And we got there, and they said just for the bar would be like a 2-hour wait because there were a couple conventions in town, and they were booked everywhere. So then we had to just like change plans, go to a different restaurant.
So it's definitely something that affects you then, like how crowded the place is.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So sometimes when people feel a need, they'll feel it for just themselves, or it's their friend group that feels it, or it's like a generation like the millennials or something. So do you think this need for you to not want to have to wait at a place and know how busy it is, do you think that's shared by other people in different ages?
Definitely. I think that's a generation-wide something that everyone has to deal with.
Okay. And they just don't. You're saying that no one enjoys waiting in line.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. That's actually an interesting thought, because right now we're discussing just avoiding lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if you just made the line fun?
Okay.
So actually what I heard from someone earlier, so they do this at Disney now. So in some of the lines for their ride, I don't know if you can talk about this a little bit, they have like games you can play as you wait in line.
Yep.
You know, what if we just made lines fun and entertaining instead of avoiding them? Actually, do you know anything about that Disney one?
Yeah, like at Thunder Mountain, they just redid it. And, like, I don't know if you've been, but Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, it used to just be, like, the straight back and forth things. And now they have, like, either, like, displays that kind of, like, move and stuff, or, like, they have crank wheels that make little animations, or, like, crank wheels that open up doors that show, like, a little, like, screen in there that's doing something.
That's so cool.
Stuff like that.
Okay. So, yeah, you were talking about lines being fun. You think that's possible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely something to explore. So basically what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to try to do to solve this problem, is create an app. Kind of like social networking, but not really. It works in the same sense where someone would use their location to post at a certain place, if this place is busy or not, based off like a clearly defined rating scale or comments of their own. And then people would be able to just check and look on this app and find the information in a concentrated area of if a place is busy or not.
Okay.
Find it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that's something that's viable or something
Yeah,
you're interested in?
sure. If it's executed correctly and built with that like fun idea in mind, and almost like social media-esque,
I like it.
I think it could catch on in a lot of different areas.
Okay. I was talking to an interview earlier named Tyler, who thought that me putting social networking on it was kind of like the kiss of death. That it would never take off because apparently he had experience breaking into the social networking, and he said it's just tough to get in. Another thing he brought up was he says that them ranking it or commenting on it takes too much time. And what if we just like use their location? He said to find like how many people were at a place or not.
Location might be easier, yeah, because taking the time to rate something, like very few apps like Yelp, maybe there's only one.
Yeah.
I've known that uses that effectively, but even that, it's not really time constrained. Like you write a review and that's forever. It's not like, oh, in this half hour it's been like an hour long line. If the location just tells that, or you can maybe just put in like a time, like this is how long it is right now or something, let everyone else know. Just like a quick little punch, like open it up, punch in the time, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think social media is a kiss of death. I don't know.
Open it up and touch it. That's it. Because my next question was, is that, legal? Just getting their location without their whatever. We couldn't do it.
I mean,
anyway,
Uber does it.
Uber. Okay. Well, yeah. So opening it up and clicking it, I like that. All right. So follow up question, sort of. What do you think are the boundaries for an app like this? Because we've discussed pretty much restaurants or bars or the gym. What else could it possibly tell the location for? Like, say, a beach or a...
Like legal boundaries or just like
Like
boundaries.
like a position. So we
Okay.
talked about going to a restaurant, marking if it's busy or not. What if you could go to a place like the beach and mark if it's busy?
Yeah, I think any place that has to define like a name with a space, you could use it.
I like that answer. I've been asking this question all day, and
Mhm.
that's a good answer. Okay, thanks.
So yeah, beach would work.
Do you ever go to a place with the thought you'd rather it be packed in mind, like you want it to be crowded?
Sure. Like any, you're going out on a Friday night here, any of the bars.
Okay, that's fair. So say we create this app and it works out, it works well. Do you think you would use this, and how often? Like, would you use it once a week, once a month, or once every time you go out?
Probably end up using it, depending on how busy I was in a week, probably 3 times a week or something.
Okay.
3 or 4 times a
So
week.
just for specific places you would go
Yeah,
to?
probably.
Okay,
When I'm trying to plan ahead for something.
that makes sense. All right, Mac, I just want to thank you for your time. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, here's my next interview. This is Austin. Austin, why don't we start today, and you can just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a third-year finance major at UF.
Sweet.
I took this class a couple semesters ago, so I kind of know what it's about.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to be involved in sports. I mean, I'm athletic. I like to do stuff on campus. But that's about it.
Okay. So yeah, just the reason I did that is because I'm trying to identify my prototypical customer
All right.
now. So we're just learning a little bit about them. So you said you took this class before, so basically you know how it works. The first few weeks we've just been focused on finding needs in society,
Yeah.
like people's needs in society. And these are then classified as opportunities that we can exploit with, say, a product. So the past few weeks I've identified a need that deals with whenever you go out to a place and it's like really crowded or packed and you have to wait in line.
Mhm.
It deals with that and trying to find a solution to that to where you can know if a place is packed or not. So do you feel like that's a problem for you, like a need?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would think, especially in Gainesville, because it's a college town. There's like 50,000 people on campus.
Yeah.
So like, and when you want to go out to like, even if it's not a bar, just like a restaurant, stuff can be crowded. So having something like that. So is it something like you would do with like how Google has like maps for traffic, but like
Yeah.
for people?
I was
Okay.
gonna bring that up later,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Okay.
it's hopefully gonna be very similar like that.
Yeah.
Follow-up question there that I forgot. I'm sorry about that. What were we just talking about again?
The like mapping people if the area's busy and like comparing it to like Google Maps, like traffic with like cars on the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a need. Actually, yeah. Could you talk about a time maybe in the last 3 or 4 months that you experienced this need and you experienced going out to a place and it being too packed and you had to wait in line?
Yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago I went to Grog and we went out like really late, so we got there like 11:30 and we were waiting in line for like a while. So I mean, like,
Okay.
you kind of understand that Grog would be crowded at that time, but if you could have like an app that says like, oh, this place is less crowded than another place,
It'd just be easier.
yeah, it'd be way easier, it'd save a lot of time.
Okay. Thanks. Actually, we were just talking about lines, like avoiding them and everything. What if we could, instead of working on avoiding the lines, making the lines more fun and entertaining to be a part of?
Damn.
Yeah, that's great. I was interviewing somebody this morning and they said that. But we compared it to, I just talked to Mac,
Yeah.
who works at Disney. We compared it to them making their lines fun by putting in little pieces along the line that kids can play with.
Okay.
And so that's kind of, I don't know how that would really fit in with a restaurant, but
Yeah.
that's one idea is I guess making lines fun. Like, do you think people would go for that?
Yeah, I think it would cater more to like kids. Probably, I couldn't really think of anything that like college students would have fun with in the line. But yeah.
Well, the funny thing is I went to the Top the other day.
Okay. Yeah.
And with my sister and my mom, and they're like, yeah, there's going to be a wait. And I was like, okay. And then they told me the wait's going to be an hour long. And I thought, like, that's impossible. We're not going to wait for this. And they said, no, that's expected. But apparently, like, a block down or so is the barcade, which is like
Oh,
half
yeah.
bar, half
Yeah, I've heard
arcade.
of it,
So
yeah.
apparently people will just go there, wait for an hour,
Yeah.
spend some money there, and then go. So I guess something like that. But that's very vague on how it would be structured. But that's an experience of like how people our age could have fun while waiting.
Yeah. I've heard good things about the arcade.
Okay, just a few more questions here. So I guess, actually, let me just describe the app first. So it's going to be an app.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit like social networking, but not too much, where your phone would pick up its location, and you'd be able to say if you were at that certain spot, like Applebee's or something, you could rate if it was crowded or not, and maybe make a comment section about it. So it would work as an app basically, and it would condense a lot of information that you can find in other places, condense it all into one so you can easily look up if a place is busy or not. Do you think that's an app that would work for you, or that would solve any needs or problems?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think it would work especially well for like more like the bars going out, because like you can some restaurants you can call and be like, how long is your wait?
Yeah.
But like if you're going out to like social or any of those places, I think something like that would be really good. And I guess that since it's a social networking app, you could also have people saying like, oh, like we're out here, come like join us. So like people could like hook up through the app too.
Oh
okay?
wow.
So I
That's
don't know if
kinda
that
cool.
would,
Yeah,
if that
no,
would work
no.
like sort of like a mini like Facebook kind of thing, like
Oh,
wherever
yeah.
you are. Yeah.
That's really cool. That would, okay. That's interesting. I guess you were talking about bars and restaurants mostly, but do you think there are boundaries to this? Like, what do you think you could possibly say is packed or not? Like a beach or something? Could a bunch of people there say it's packed?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty relative because it's such a big area. But I think that would work too, because I mean, I know like back home in Tampa, like Clearwater Beach is always packed.
Okay.
So you're always just trying to find a day where it's like not super crowded. So if you had people on an app say that like, oh, there's not a lot of people here today, then that could be helpful.
Okay. Sweet. Good to hear. All right. So if this app actually was used, was created and was working well, would you ever see yourself using it, and how much would you use it?
Yeah, I think I would definitely use it. I mean, more for like the weight. I don't know if you would put in that like social aspect, but like being able to see like how crowded places are would definitely like help me like guide my search, and I think it'd be more efficient for the businesses too, honestly. So and they
Okay.
would, and I guess you'd make like the idea with the app is like you just put ads on it. Is that how you make like revenue or?
I'm looking for anything right now, and that's a good idea. No one brought that up yet.
Yeah, if it's popular enough. So.
Okay, sweet. And I guess how often would you use it though? So say every time you went out, or just for specific locations?
I'd probably look at it every time I went out, just for the hell of it. Like if I knew where
So
I
it'd have
was,
to be easy to access the app. It would have to,
exactly. Like it's something that you could just like pull up whenever.
Okay.
And just kind of if it's like there's enough traffic on it. And I mean like I'd probably only look at it like on busy nights. Like I wouldn't look if I was going out on like Monday or Tuesday. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, it's not gonna be crowded.
Don't worry.
But
about
if it's Thursday, Friday, then I'd use it. Yeah.
that. I get that. Okay. Well, thank you, Austin. You provided me with a lot. I appreciate that. All right. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. Hi, this is Brett. I'm interviewing Alex Braunfeld. He's the prototypical customer that I found. Alex, why don't we start just to identify the prototypical customer? Kind of just talk a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I'm currently a third-year student at the University of Florida. I'm majoring in marketing. I have a minor in mass communications. I'm definitely young and educated, so I research all my products before I make any purchases.
All right. So I guess that's the kind of person we're going for. So I haven't told you about the product yet. I'm just gonna introduce it to you. First, I'm gonna introduce you to a need. Throughout this course, we just go through and we look at opportunities, and then we develop those opportunities into needs, or basically the same thing. Okay. So the need that I've been thinking about is whenever you go somewhere, say like a bar or a restaurant or the gym or even the beach, anywhere basically, do you ever feel the need to know how many people are there, like if there's going to be a wait to get in?
Yeah, actually, all the time. I normally check Yelp, and I look at their reviews, see how the place is, and then normally I'll call ahead and say, hey, like, how long's your wait?
Okay.
So if there was an easier way that I could tell the wait time before going to a certain place, I would definitely like to use that.
So you find that to be a hassle that you have to call someone?
Oh, absolutely. I hate talking on the phone.
Okay. I feel that. Do you have a specific example within the past month that you wanted to check if there was a wait and you were able to successfully do it, or you were able to not successfully do it, just within the
Yeah,
last month?
absolutely. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I was in Boston with a couple friends, and we were visiting businesses. And on our last night, we wanted to go to a nice dinner. So I actually forgot what the place was called, but it was like a seafood restaurant right on the harbor.
Yeah.
And we were all really excited to get like seafood, fresh, perfect, beautiful grilled seafood. And we got there. Turns out there was a 45-minute wait.
Ooh.
So we ended up going to a pub instead. But
Not too bad. But what about that pub? Did you check ahead to see if that pub was busy?
I did not. We just kind of got lucky. We just walked around, stumbled upon it.
Okay. Yeah, I actually went to the top the other night here in Gainesville.
Oh.
I had to wait for an hour, but I went with my family, and they said that was normal. So I was upset about it when they said the wait was an hour, and they said, no, that's what we were supposed to do.
Totally understandable.
What do you think are the boundaries of this? So I've set it up as the question where you're just thinking of bars or restaurants, but what if you could tell if anything was busy, like I said before, like the beach or even I know you can look up to see if the traffic's busy or not, but like what are the boundaries of this? Like what could we possibly check to see how many people are anywhere?
I guess realistically, there is no boundaries.
Ooh.
Because no matter what you do, you always have to wait, whether that's going to a retail store, getting a bite to eat, going to a batting cage, whatever. You always have the potential to wait online. So if you could check ahead and really determine if there is a wait time and is it worth going there, it would be extremely beneficial in all areas of life.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the reason companies haven't made their own app for that is because if it was busy, then they would just be sending people away.
Exactly.
Because you ever go to Walmart and there's like the lines like 10 minutes long to check out, you know? And if they posted that on their social media, no one would want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's something to look at. Okay. Why do you think you have this need? Like why is it so bad to just go in unknowingly, and then if you have to wait 40 minutes, why not just wait 40 minutes?
Well, unfortunately, I am caught up in a fast pace of life like most millennials. I'm constantly trying to get as many tasks done as soon, as fast, as efficient as possible. And even when I'm not in a rush, I still feel constantly in a rush. So when I go to the food store, I'm trying to get my food, and I'm trying to check out and leave. And if I got to wait 20 minutes to check out, I get annoyed. So it really...
You're just trying to constantly be getting stuff done.
Exactly. It creates that need.
Okay. What if, different idea on a tangent here, what if instead of worrying about waiting in lines, what if we made waiting in lines more, where you could do more stuff while waiting in line? I don't know what that would look
Actually,
like.
I think that's a great idea. I know Disney has implemented a new system for a lot of their lines with like interactive games. So they have like touchscreen surfaces, or they have like iPads like built into the wall. So like as you're waiting in line for the rides, you could constantly be doing something else, just really enjoying your time in line. So it makes the overall experience definitely better.
That makes sense for some. I don't know why Disney hasn't done that in the past, because that's what they do, is entertain people. All right, so the solution I came up for this would be something like an app, something like social media apps. So right now you could go on Twitter and search, like if you're going to Applebee's, you could search Applebee's. That's a poor example, but you could search Applebee's and see if like people are tweeting about Applebee's saying it's busy or not. That's just too time consuming. It's not quick. It's not easy enough for people. What I've proposed is with this app, you basically search a specific location, and other people who are there, who like use their location to pick up that spot, are basically just rating it, how busy it is based on like a scale, and then they could comment on it farther than that. So it's really easy to pick up. You just search the location, and right away you see if it's busy or not. How useful do you think that would be, or is there something an easier way to do that?
That sounds very similar to like how Waze, the mobile traffic app works. It's like people run.
Oh yeah. You know what? You were actually telling me about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
As like you're driving in real time, people will like make comments and be like, "Hey, it's really crowded here. Take a back way." So if you could kind of take that format and apply it to different industries, I think it would be enormously successful.
And how many people like use that app? Is it difficult to get people to like comment on the traffic?
No, but they do offer incentives. Like if you make an account, if you leave a comment, you get like points, and then if you get a certain enough points, you get like rise through the ranks and stuff, and you get like little benefits here and there.
So you got to make it kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah, everyone wants to have fun.
How often would you use this app? Like, would you use it once a week, only specific locations, or everywhere you went all the time? Would you use it?
I could definitely see myself using it multiple times a week. Normally, when I'm going somewhere that has a line, it's either like food shopping or I'm going to lunch with a friend or dinner, which is definitely something I do 2 to 3 times a week. So I would use it around that.
Do you ever get in a situation where, like, so say you want to go to McDonald's and you love McDonald's, right? But there's an hour wait to get a table at McDonald's, right?
Whoa.
But you need to get McDonald's. Is there ever a situation where you don't care if it's crowded or not? You just want to go to that place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
All right. And I guess the second question on that, this works, and the way you've been discussing it is you want to check to see if a place is crowded or not. Ideally, you want it to not be crowded. Do you ever go to a place wanting it to be crowded, wanting there are people there?
The only time I could think where that situation would apply would be maybe like a concert or some kind of event where part of the experience is being around a group of people.
Yeah.
But normally, if I'm just doing my everyday tasks, I'd prefer that it be as quick and as efficient as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Alex, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciated all the insight that you brought to me. And, if I do go further into this, I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah, let me know when the beta testing is going to happen.
For sure, for sure.